Malaysia aims for carbon neutrality by 2050, targeting 70% of power from renewables energy. Currently, fossil fuels still dominates the energy mix. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Amar Fadilah Yusof say Malaysia is exploring nuclear energy as part of a phased, science-based transition. Related issues in nuclear power use. First, regulatory readiness and governance. Malaysia has experience in non-power nuclear use, but legal and institutional frameworks for commercial nuclear powers are incomplete. Previous plans were held in 2018, showing how politics can disturb long-term planning. Next, public perceptions and social acceptance. Public concurrence over nuclear safety, especially after accidents like Fukushima, emphasizes the needs of clear risk communications. Besides humans, capitals, and technical capability, Malaysia has expertise in medical and industrial nuclear fields, but training in reactors engineering and risk management is needed for safety and sustainability. Furthermore, ethical and intergenerational concurrence are also important. Nuclear power reduces greenhouse gases, but radioactive waste poses risks. And all hazards approach is needed to protect future generations. Now we look on the problem statements. Malaysia has not yet decided on nuclear energy. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof say it is a long-term option. Feasibility studies, regulations and public engagements are ongoing, with implementations possibly taking 10 years. In addition, balancing policy and public concurrence is challenging. Dr. T. Sarawanan's questions nuclear waste readiness, while Selangor leads by Menteri Besar Datuk Sri Amiruddin Syari plans to develop nuclear apparatus in 5 years. This gap shows the needs for clear risk communications and coordinated policy.
Thank you, Ying. Moving on, I will briefly discuss conflict arising from nuclear power use, focusing on why it is still considered and why it remains controversial. First, from an economic and energy necessity perspective, many countries aim to achieve net zero emission by 2050. Nuclear power is often seen as a key pillar in national energy transition roadmaps because it provides a large-scale, low-carbon electricity. Compared to fossil fuel, nuclear energy offers a faster route to decarbonization, especially for countries heavily dependent on coal and gas. In addition, the rapid data center boom has significantly increased electricity demand. This facility requires a stable, continuous baseload power supply, which renewable sources like solar and hydro alone cannot always provide. Nuclear power is therefore considered a reliable solution to support this growing demand. However, nuclear power also faces strong opposition due to anticipatory and socio-political factors. In Malaysia, the 1982 Bukit Merah incident remains a major historical trauma. It continues to shape public distrust and drive social resistance against nuclear development. Furthermore, the nature of nuclear-related conflict today has shifted. Since there are no operational nuclear power plants, debates focus on less on planned operation and more on safety concern, public health, and radioactive waste management ethics. As of 2023, nuclear energy remains a debated but unresolved option in national policy. Recent discussions have shifted towards small modular reactor or SMRs, which are designed to offer improved safety features and a smaller environmental footprint. Therefore, nuclear power sits at the intersection of energy necessity and public concern, making it one of the most complex and sensitive energy decisions to date. Furthermore, the key factors contributing to conflict over nuclear power. First, ethical concerns play a major role. Nuclear waste remain radioactive for thousands of years, raising questions about fairness to future generations. Many people also feel it is morally wrong to expose the public to nuclear risk when renewable energy options are available. Next is safety. There is strong fear of nuclear accidents and system failure, especially after past global disasters. In Malaysia, limited experience with nuclear power and emergency preparedness increase public concerns. Health and community impacts are another issue. Long-term exposure to radiation may lead to serious health problems such as cancer. Even invisible radiation creates fear and public distrust. Finally, there are environmental risks including irreversible damage to ecosystem and contamination of land, water and food chains. Together, these concerns explain why nuclear power remains highly debated. Then, let me highlight the main concerns surrounding nuclear power, focusing on ethical, safety and health issues. First, the ethical issue of intergenerational justice is a major concern. Nuclear power produces radioactive waste that remain hazardous for thousands of years. While we benefit from the energy today, future generations will carry the responsibility of managing this waste. Next, the safety issue centers on the risk of nuclear accident. Although safety systems have improved, accidents cannot be completely eliminated. Past incidents such as 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl and Fukushima show the failure can still occur due to technical faults, human error or natural disaster leading to serious consequences. Finally, the health issue involves radiation exposure and long-term effect. Exposure to ionizing radiation can damage human DNA and cells, increasing the risk of cancer and leukemia over time. Even low levels of radiation raise health concerns, contributing to public fear, especially in Malaysia due to potential environmental exposure. Together, this issue explains why nuclear power remains controversial.
Now, let's talk about the commodity issue, which is fear of radiation that related with health issues. Radiation is perceived as an invisible risk, which creates fear, anxiety, and health concerns among local communities, including worries about long-term illness. Public trust is further weakened by past incidents in Malaysia, such as Bukit Merah incident, despite modern nuclear system emitting very low radiation. Lastly, environmental issue, which is potential for localized ecological collapse in an accident. Environmentally, nuclear accidents are low in probability but high in impact. Even small leaks can cause long-term damage, as radioactive materials can persist in soil and water, spread through Malaysia's river and mangrove system, and affect ecosystem and food source for generations. Moving on to the first suggested solution, which is building trust and public awareness. Nuclear power development strongly depends on public support. Malaysia already has skilled professionals and access to advanced and safer nuclear technologies, providing a solid technical foundation. However, public trust remains critical. Transparent and open communication is essential to address safety concerns, while education and improved nuclear literacy help the public make informed decisions. The next solution is a transparent waste management strategy. This involves a science-based national plan to manage radioactive waste safely in the long term. Malaysia is developing a 100-year waste isolation roadmap to protect the environment and future generations. Waste generators are responsible for their waste, while Nuclear Malaysia manage it through specialized facilities such as the RWMC. Another proposed solution is adopting small modular reactors or SMRS as a safer and more cost-efficient alternative to traditional nuclear plants. SMRS use passive safety systems that allow automatic shutdown and cooling, require lower investment, shorter construction time, and offer flexible deployment. With a capacity of around 300 MW, they are suitable for Malaysia's future energy and high-tech industry needs. The final solution is ensuring economic benefits for host communities. Nuclear facilities can create high-skill jobs, support local business, and generate tax revenue that can be reinvested into public services, strengthening long-term regional economic resilience.
The Fukushima Daiichi disaster shows that safety must never be compromised to reduce costs. Although the tsunami was a natural disaster, investigations revealed that risks were underestimated and safety upgrades were delayed. This decision led to massive economic losses, displacement of over 100,000 people, and long-term psychological and health impacts. The key lesson is that preventative safety investment is far cheaper and ethically necessary compared to dealing with the consequences of nuclear accident. And for Tokai Mura accidents, it highlights the importance of human factors and safety culture. The accident occurred due to poor training and management pressure to increase productivity, which is leading to unsafe handling of nuclear fuel. 2 workers lost their life and nearby residents were exposed to radiation. This case demonstrates that ethical leadership, proper training, and strict adherence to safety procedures are critical to prevent loss of life in high-risk engineering system. So, in conclusion, nuclear energy is a high-risk technology that carries a high ethical responsibility. The cases from Japan clearly show that prioritizing cost and efficiency over safety leads to massive financial waste, long-term health impact, and loss of public trust. Engineering decision must always place public safety, human life, and environmental protection above economic and political interests. For Malaysia, these lessons emphasize that the need for strong regulation, ethical leadership, transparent decision-making, and careful planning to protect both present and future generations before consider nuclear power adoption.